שלום רב לקהל הצופים והצופות של פסטיבל הקולנוע הרומני בישראל, מהדורת 2023. כאן איריס לקנר, האוצרת והמנהלת של הפסטיבל, ואני שמחה לארח כאן את חברתי היקרה, מאיה מורגנשטרן, שחקנית רומנייה יהודייה עם קריירה בינלאומית מרשימה, זוכת פרסים רבים, והיא מככבת בסרט האימה שהבאנו הפעם, ושלושת הגדיים, שהוא בעצם מבוסס על סיפור עם רומני, ואנחנו עכשיו נקיים איתה שיחה, אני אקיים איתה שיחה בשפה האנגלית. דרגה מאיה, בונה זיואה.
Hello, בונה זיואה. Shalom.
Shalom. I'm so happy to have you here, and I'm very glad that we managed to bring the movie you star in, Capra Cutreyez, The Goat and Her Three Kids. This is how it's called in English. And it's actually based on a Romanian story meant for children.
Fairy tale, yeah.
So, yes. Before we talk about the movie, can you tell us about your own personal memories on this story when you first heard it? What's your impression on the story itself?
Well, it's very interesting because the two answers are connected, actually. Why I'm saying? Because when we start to work with Victor Canache for the movie, with Victor Canache for the movie, actually, we used, I would say, the book, because it is, I don't know if it exists anymore, but it was a book, a very special book with special drawings, designs, with special characters, and I recall them in my mind, the figures. It was a sort of cartoon style, but not cartoon, very special. I wouldn't say it's a Romanian story, but it is a fairy tale for children in that space. It's a large, huge space, Carpathian, I don't know, Balkans. It's a huge space. It's there are regions you can find with the goat with 7 children. Depends. It is about. The idea was that I was very impressed as a child because it's fresh in my mind, the view, the image of the book, and the text, the written text was not very big in order as a child to read it, to get acquainted with the idea of reading and also having drawings. There were, of course, animals, goats, and the kids. What is a child of the goat? Yet in English, I don't know them.
So we understand.
You'll tell me in a while. But they were very humans, dressed in traditional folk costumes, robes and skirts. Very, very traditional Romanian folk costumes, and the children were little goats, but not anymore, but children. And I was, as a child, and thank you very much for your question, because I was not confused, because as a child, I was very sure about everything. I'm seeing, but I do remember each and every time I was waiting till the last pages of the book that the end will change.
Yeah.
So, of course, the wolf is punished and the bad one is punished, but still the 2 other brothers, because only the youngest was saved himself. Of course, the mother takes revenge. Punishment, I would say punishment. Then we'll discuss about the condition of a woman, a widow, alone with 3 children in a world. She cannot find justice. She had to do that by herself.
Yeah. We won't make any spoilers, but she had to stay.
Justice, not revenge. Justice and not revenge. But I was waiting as a child that maybe, naive, of course, and hoping that the good of the world will be restored, the justice, as in, I don't know about you, what is your version about Skufica Roșie, the red hood, nu știu ce. But yes, in the end, the grandmother was saved from the wolf's stomach, and well, yes. So I was waiting somehow that we have back the older brothers. Not in the Capra cu Trăiesc.
You were hoping for a good ending, and eventually it didn't happen.
Every time. It is a little bit naive.
Yes,
but that's it.
It makes sense for a child to want something to end well.
Yes. But, well, I think I was all right, because it is, even today, or almost, mostly today, discussion, isn't it too cruel, too violent, too tough? As a child, I was absolutely all right with the feeling of justice. The justice
it's interesting what you say. I'm saying that it's interesting what you just said, because we are used as children.
I hope, because otherwise our interview is for nothing. I hope it is interesting.
As children, we are used to read or to hear different stories which have some frightening elements in them. And once, when I was in university and learned philosophy, the teacher told us, actually, he destroyed all the fairy tales that we grew up on, while understanding what it has beneath. So maybe sometimes we have to stay
it's a new world.
Naive child.
Yeah.
Okay, now how did you accept the offer to play in this movie when Canache addressed you?
Oh, it is a very long, funny, I would say, story, because I was very skeptical. What? Capra cu Trei, what is a cartoon? I have to play a cartoon, a goat. But step by step, and quite late, I understood how serious he was, how determined he was, how well prepared he was, how much he was in the story with the book, and in the film we have even strong connections and references to the book, to the drawing, to this passage of the childhood. And it is a statement of the author, Răzvan Canache, that the film is dedicated, maybe, not without maybe, to the first impressions he had reading, living, growing up with a story, with a fairy tale, with a book, with the voice of a grandmother, or a mother, or a parent, or somebody older who used to read for us the book, this small book. Afterwards, I don't remember. I told my children the same fairy tale, and I don't remember their questions. Let me be honest. When I was very tired, because normally I still love to invent stories, tales, fairy tales, to combine elements. I learned, having the impression that I'm inventing something very new. Maybe I do, maybe not. I'm just combining. But when I was very tired and lack of imagination, Capra cu Trăiesc, children, now we know it by heart. And they started to correct me. But coming back to your question, yes, I was skeptical. And first we shot scurt metraj, short film? And I said, yes, that's it. And when Razvan Victor Canache told me, we are going to build, to construct, to have a long metrage, I was once more skeptical, like it wasn't enough to be skeptical enough
the
for
first
the
time.
short film. Once more. So I have to underline, and I'm doing this proudly, that I worked for this film absolutely volunteering. Because I understood, I was aware how much they struggle. Razvan Victor Canache, his wife, the producer, Luana Georgica, all, it was a small crew, but very professional, real artist, and we worked very, very, very hard, very hard.
Once someone will see the movie, they will understand exactly what you're saying because it's done beautifully and so professionally. And it seems like you took an American production to Romania, and this is the outcome. And it's wonderful understanding what happens behind the scenes, that they struggle so much, but the outcome is absolutely outstanding. And what I remember is that the first time I saw the movie, it was at TIFF, and the reaction of the audience was just amazing. Because I would say, I asked myself, who will be the audience? Young people, older people who remember, of course, and connect, relate to the fairy tale. And there were all ages. The hall was full, and there were a few projections at the festival, and it also received the audience prize. It was the most loved movie. And how do you explain this reaction of the audience? I know it took you by surprise as well.
Absolute. I was so much surprised. I was there, I was invited, and I was very, very pampered because I knew and I was supposed and I received the award for my whole artistic life. And I was happy and pampered, and interviews and meetings, and very proud and very happy again, revisiting my career, my work for 40, more than 40 years in movies, in theater. Well, but the moment they announced, they announced a public award, I was completely surprised and happy, and I screamed of joy.
How was working with Mr. Canache?
Very difficult. I was very difficult.
You
I
were
was
difficult.
a
Okay.
mess. Am fost o pacoste. Well, yes, honestly. Well, I'm trying to be honest. It was the conditions were very, very difficult. We are, imagine a film, our projection is, well, we have a trailer and we have that and we have that and this is makeup and this is costumes. No, it was very difficult. It was late autumn and full of mud and rain. The colors were beautiful. The woods changed its color every half hour.
Amazing.
Red, yes, trees, the leaves, and the atmosphere. It was sunny and rainy and cold and warm. It was amazing because they built Razvan himself, Canache, Mr. Canache and his wife, and they built the set, a house designated to make a movie. They built a house, with their hands, from remains of houses, or I don't know. They built a house, a set, in the middle of nowhere, in a wonderful landscape. A wonderful landscape.
That's true.
But we had to carry with our, arms and bags and I don't know, the materials and the machines. The cars couldn't get there because it was impossible.
In what area was it filmed?
Malul cu Flori, Târgoviște, Muntenia, a wonderful, in Muntenia. not
Okay, in
far from
Montaigne.
Muntenia, Curtea de Argeș, a landscape to take the breath away.
Yeah.
Yes,
And how
and he
was
was
work?
very demanding. He was very demanding. When you have to climb up and down the hill, once a little mountain again and again, because the word is yaka or yata. Well, it's all the same. No, it's not. Go back. Yes,
And
it
so
was
when we see you tired during the movie,
never
you
and
were
never.
really tired.
Never.
You didn't have to play it.
Well, yes, but it makes sense and I understood, but it was difficult. It was
Yeah,
very
that's
difficult.
the truth. And how was
But
to work
I
with
did
Marius?
understand how much they work, how much they struggle to have to produce the film.
And how was the work with Marius Bodoki?
Wonderful. We are colleagues and friends, and I do respect his work. I used to call him antidepressive, because whenever he arrives, no more fights, no more, I don't know. Oh, no, we were happy with him because a good vibe. A
Okay.
wonderful actor, intelligent, charming, and a wonderful person.
Now there are three children playing the kids in this
Yes.
story. How was for them to play in a horror movie? It
Oh,
is a horrible story after all. It doesn't matter how we look at it. At the end of the day, it's quite frightening. So how was for them
for them,
to?
not. They had fun. They enjoyed
Okay,
very much
okay,
work, to play in a movie. And though I'm using the word play properly, yes, they used to play. They were very happy to be there, to play with us, to play a character. They played between them. They enjoyed very much making the film.
amazing,
Uh,
amazing.
but they are children from the countryside, from the village. They are very used to work and to work hard. They went to school, never skipped the school, never. Then we took care of the animals, their own animals. Then they had to run home to do some works in their small little farms. The word is too big,
Yes,
but it is a lot of work to do
yes, of
in the
course
village.
it is.
And children
Now,
were, well, teenagers, pre-teenagers, but they used to work very hard. For me, it
uh,
was difficult to climb up and down the little mountain. For them, it was nothing.
yeah, they're used to it, and it's impressive, I must say. Now, given your next projects, your hand is full with many movies that will come out, and there's also a movie that will be continuous to the Passion of Christ, Resurrection. Is it
I
true?
don't know. We will speak whenever it is ready, and we will
Okay.
later.
Later. Okay.
later.
Would you care to tell us some of the next projects you can talk about that are already filmed and post-production?
Well, we'll see. We will speak about them whenever they come out.
Okay. Is there something additional you would like the audience to know about the movie?
Yes. Well, yes, about the movie Capra cu Trăiesc is the fact then that when the film came out, um, it was very good that we traveled with Caravana to present the movie in different towns or even villages in Romania. And there were meetings with the public, which were wonderful question. It was good to share with them, to tell them, to speak about how we worked, how we fight, how we find solutions. It was fun, very fun. It was very good that we had those sort of meetings here and there. Well, and it was a sort of, because from time to time you do a movie, you attend the opening, and but it's a question of turneu, town after town, day after day. So it turns to be quite complicated. But I combined two things. because that time, autumn time, even beginning of winter, I'm touring a lot with the theater, Jewish state theater or independent productions in different towns, little towns, big towns, cities. And I combined. I had a performance, and in the end of performance, I ran quickly to the, I don't know, the cinema hall, and I had, after the projection, a
Q&A,
talk,
yeah, a talk
yeah,
with the
with the
audience.
public. Wonderful.
So very vivid. It's so you. This is the way you are used, and you enjoy what you're doing, and it shows. It shows on stage, and it shows on the screen, and we are grateful for that, Maya. And
I
we are
am.
looking forward to see you here very soon. And we urge the audience to come and see this wonderful special movie. I will address them a bit in Hebrew with your permission. באמת זה בז'אנר של סרט אימה, אבל זו אגדת עם רומנית, ובאמת יש שם סרט שהוא עשוי נהדר, הוא יפהפה, כל מה שמאיה סיפרה לנו על הנופים הם באמת כאלה. רומניה, אפשר להגיד עליה הרבה דברים, אבל על דבר אחד אי אפשר להתווכח, זו ארץ יפהפייה, ואת היופי הזה רואים בסרט במלוא הדרו. אז אני ממליצה לכם ללכת לראות בשם מכון התרבות הרומני, ששותף כמובן לארגון הפסטיבל שלנו, ובשמי כאוצרת ומנהלת הפסטיבל. אני מאחלת לכם צפייה מהנה, ומזמינה אתכם להיכנס לדף הפייסבוק של פסטיבל הקולנוע הרומני בישראל, מהדורת 2023, להתעדכן בכל הפרטים והמקומות בהם מציג הסרט. תודה רבה. Thank you very much. את מולצומז, דרגה מאי. ביי ביי.
ביי. Thank you. להתראות.